Welcome back. We are going to be looking at the best Springboks 15 in history. All right, so the whole history of the box, we're going to be picking who I think should be the best 15, while including, let's be honest, the best 23. There is also the best coach and also a couple of honorable mentions. So let me know below if you agree, disagree, who you'd add in, because yet again, this is up to opinion. Some people will probably think some other people are better, some will fit in better, whatever it might be, but this is for me who I think I would choose from my rugby knowledge, having watched rugby since 5 years old, etc., and been following the box since then as well. I will be doing this in the meantime while the Six Nations is going on, so between each week, we can do a top Springboks, we can do a top All Blacks, top Argentinian, top Wallabies team, who I think in the whole history deserves to be called out and deserves the recognition they deserve. So let's get into it without further ado. And if you do enjoy these sorts of videos, if you do enjoy talking about rugby or listening about rugby, hit that subscribe button below. Also hit the like button if you do like this video. If it has earned it, hit that like button and you'll be able to see future videos. If you agree or disagree, that's what makes rugby good. And at the end of the day, it's everyone's opinion. But at the end of the day, we're not the professionals, right? At the end of the day, I've only made it to a bit of rep rugby and a bit of rep rugby league, and that's probably the highest I've ever been. So no higher than that. And I still play a bit of club rugby, but yeah, not very good anymore. Getting a bit too old now. Now let's get into it. In the front row, in number 1, we got Osterand.
Suffered serious injury that kept him on the sidelines for almost 2 years. But in 2004, Oz returned to the side and became the last member of the 1995 World Cup winning team, still playing professionally.
Durant, one of the most dynamic tacklers in a side jam-packed with outstanding defenders.
A pretty easy choice. 80 caps for the box, 5 tries. His first province he represented was the Free State Cheetahs, the Vrystaat Cheetahs. He was born in Elliot in the Eastern Cape. He went to Adelaide Gymnasium, and he also won 2 World Cups in 1995 and in 2007. And remember, he was going to retire, and Jake White spoke to him, got him back into the team, and he was pivotal, very pivotal. He held that scrum, just an absolute legend. And I think pretty much everyone agrees, he's the best, number 1 in the box history. 6'3", 135 kilos he played at times. And a total of all his games, so you'll see there's a win percentage down here. It's actually, out of all the matches they played, that's the amount of games that they won. So it's an interesting stat to follow as well. So 65% winning rate. And for the box, that's pretty good. Now we move to number 2. Into hooker is John Smith.
Looking for the offload. Beautifully picked up by Smith.
Here by John de Villiers, and watch this. Here's the offload. Here comes your flying captain with a one-handed catch. Unbelievable.
You could have gone a few here, right? You could have gone Malcolm Marx, Bismarck du Plessis. You could have gone a few others as well. But John Smith, he did it for many years. He can also jump into prop as well if you really run short on front rowers. His lineouts were amazing, and his leadership, right? I mean, his leadership at the end of the day is what made him as good as he is. He had 111 caps, but the main one there, 83 caps as captain, 8 tries. His first team he played for was the KwaZulu-Natal Sharks. He was born in Pietersburg in Gauteng. He went to Pretoria Boys High. He had 1 World Cup in 2007 when he was the captain, and he has been inducted into the Hall of Fame. For rugby, he played at 6'2", 122 kilos, and his win percentage was 62%. Now we move on to tight head. Who's it going to be? Tight head is a little bit tougher to choose, right? It is definitely a bit tougher to choose. I'll win Frans Malherbe.
Within the team, so for us, he's a big hero, like all our props are. And I guess that's the nice thing about rugby. Rugby is a game for all shapes and sizes. And Frans Malherbe, I do the same, like that.
The dude's already played 76 matches. He's been pivotal in both the World Cup wins. He's been there. He's consistent. He holds that scrum. And with South Africa's scrum being arguably the best out of the last, let's say, 6 years, since he pretty much came into the fold. Him, Ox, the Beast, these sorts of players, and I think he deserves it. To be the best scrum for so long in the world, or one of the top 3 at least, he really deserves the accolades that he gets. He's only scored 1 try. He's obviously not a try-scoring man. You can see he's a big boy, a big boer, a big farmer, and that's what he said. Actually, if he finished rugby right now, the one job he would leave for is to go become a boer again, to be a farmer again. And he was born in Bredasdorp in the Western Cape. His first province was Western Province, and he went to Paarl Boys High School. He had 2 World Cups, 2019 and 2023. He is still playing, so the caps will hopefully get higher. He played at 6'3" and 144 kilos. So imagine these 3, Osterant 6'3", 135, John Smith 6'2", 122, and then 6'3", 144 kilos. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be the opposing front row in that one. I think they're big boys. And we move on to the second row. We've got Eben Etzebeth. Who's just made it in. He's just so consistent. He's been nominated a few times for the best player in the world. And if he did win it, I don't think many people would be disappointed. He's the leading, caps person in the whole. He's played the most games for any of the box. 131 caps, 15 as captain, 7 tries. His first province was Western Province. He's born in Cape Town. His high school went to his worst school, Deicherberg, and 2 World Cups, 2019, 2023. 6'8", 126 kilos with a 63% win rate. As you can see here, Frans Malherbe, a 71% win rate. So, I mean, that's a good, 6% better than Osterant, who's the next best at the moment. Now we move on to number 5. There's only one choice, really. That's Victor Matfield.
For a lot, his exceptional mobility and speed.
Victor Matfield takes it up to the 22. Now this is the speed of the second row.
Victor Matfield is a terrific athlete.
128 caps, who's used to be the leading caps person. 21 as captain, 7 tries. His first province was Noord-Transvaal, so the Blue Bulls. He was born in Pietersburg, Gauteng, same as John Smith. He was born in Pietersburg as well. He went to Worskol Pietersburg, 1 World Cup in 07, 6'7", 117 kilos, and also a 63% win rate. Exactly the same as Eben, and nearly the exact same amount of games. So that's a pretty crazy stat. And we move on to the back row and to the flankers in the number 8. Number 6, we got Skalkberger.
Jay Borter. Now Stain again. Berger run with the ball a fair bit in the second half. Nice pass by Andres Becker. Berger gets close and Berger scores.
86 caps, 16 tries. His first province was Western Province. He was born in Port Elizabeth in PE. His high school was Paarl Gymnasium, and 1 World Cup in 07, and he was also the World Player of the Year in 2004. He's 6'4", 114 kilos, and a 67% win rate, which is very, very good. And we move to number 7, Pieter Steph de Toy.
Tell me what's going through your mind right now.
Firstly, I want to give our Heavenly Father thanks for giving us the opportunity and for helping us as a team through this World Cup and through the whole campaign. It's an unbelievable honor and a privilege to play with this team and giving us the opportunity. Just how dominant the Boks are in the last, 2 World Cups, the last 6 years. Pieter Steph has won, World Player of the Year 2 times, right? So 2019, 2025. He's got 2 World Cups as well. His first province was the Sharks. The Natal Sharks, I bet they miss letting him go when he went to the Stormers. He was born in Cape Town and 6'6", 115 kilos with a 60% win rate. He can play, 7, he can play 6, he can play 8, he can play in the second row. He can pretty much play anywhere in the forward pack. Now we move to number 8. This is someone who I wish they could play more rugby game back then, right? More rugby back then. I wish we had cameras back then that could actually see how good he actually was. But Henny Miller.
Henny and I were very, very big mates. Rugby ability, He, in my opinion, looking right through the whole rugby from the times that I played, was possibly the greatest eighth man ever.
13 caps. So obviously there's a minimum of 10 caps. He's just over that. 13 caps, 3 tries, 16 points. So he had a couple conversions, couple of penalties. The first province he played for is Transvaal. Born in Witbank in Mpumalanga. He also went to the high school, was Martinus Wessels. He is in the Hall of Fame as well for rugby. He played at 6 foot 90 kilos. And he had a 93% win rate. He only lost 1 game. So out of the 13 games he played, only lost 1 game. You can see here, yeah, he just looks like a tough guy, right? You just look at him, and if you probably line up across him, you just go, all right, we're in for a bit of a game here. And then you look at the modern players, they look so much like happier and relaxed, bigger, where he looks angry, just an angry man. And we move on to number 9. The all-important scrum half, US van der Westhuizen, for me.
Mertens, Lamu! Mark Andrews made the intercept.
Watch here, Lamu comes on the outside, breaks through Pienaar, used to van Westhuizen, gets...
There's one, and another one for Noord-Transvaal is not very far behind, but 89 caps, 38 tries, which is crazy for a number 9. He represented Noord-Transvaal, so the Bulls. He was born in Johannesburg, where I was born. High school, he went to Hoërskool Oudendal, won World Cup in 1995. He is also in the Hall of Fame. He played at 6'2" and 90 kilos, and unfortunately they don't have the winning percentage for him. Oh no, sorry, they do. 67% win rate for US van der Westhuizen. Number 10, this is a big one. So a lot of people would go, some would go Handré Pollard, who obviously have recently started watching. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, putting Handré Pollard there. I mean, Yanni de Beer was really, really good as well. Morné Steyn was really good. I mean, there's a lot of good. Butch James, some people would even go, but Naas Botha, the dude's kicking is insane. I mean, he even went to the NFL. That's how good his kicking is.
Says their legendary captain, Naas Botha, would have been the nation's hero and a star at any World Cup.
Drop kick coming up. And 3 more points for Naas Botha.
Right, Botha knew that the winger was upfield. It's a clever kick. Quite superb that. Good thinking.
Naas Botha, who lies 3rd in the goal-kicking stakes for average points per international. 11.1 he scored in 27 international. Here with a chance to kick free. It looks very good. And it's a superb kick.
He had 28 caps for 312 points, which back then, when he played, that is a lot of points, right? That's a lot of points. He obviously represented his province, Noord-Transvaal, the Bulls, etc. He also was born in Breyten in Transvaal. He went to Hoërskool Hendrik Verwoerd. He didn't play in any World Cups because South Africa wasn't allowed to play in any World Cups back then. He played at 5'10" and 73 kilos. Obviously, he's not going to be a defensive number 10 for you, right? You can watch up videos of him where he just slots goal kicks left, right, and center. Like drop kicks, not a worry. If you think Morné Steyn or something like that's good at drop kicks, you should have watched Naas Botha. Now we move on to number 12, Danie Gerber. .24 caps, 19 tries. Let me just repeat that. So 24 caps, 19 tries. So that's nearly 1 a game. He represented the Eastern Province. He was born in Port Elizabeth in PE, went to Hoërskool Dispatch, played at 6 foot and 90 kilos. And I mean, not just me obviously thinks this, but anyone who watched rugby back then, you know, the old head Stake, and all agree on the field, he was always the most skilled player. Just naturally gifted, stepping ability, dummy and go. Like the guy just could offload, you know, he just like really, really good natural instinct player. And I guess he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. We move on to number 13. Jock Fourie, another one that you could have changed around. You know, you could have put Theo Linda at 12 and Donnie at 13. I mean, you could have put John de Villiers in here as well. You could have put whoever you want. But Jock Fourie, for me, he just solidified that.
Half minutes. That's all there is. And the man on the far side. It's Fourie. He's got power. Oh, has he got it down? If he has, it could be a history-making finish.
Springbok midfield. I mean, he had a 71% win rate. Whenever he played, the opposition centers were getting shut down. He was a big boy, 6'3", 105 kilos. Obviously got the one World Cup in 07. Went to Worskell Monument, close to where I lived. Was born in Carltonville, and he obviously represented Transvaal, the Lions. And 73 caps and 32 tries for him as well. Just a really big defensive, you know, midfielder. And his line running was some of the best in the world. So if he ran off Donnie Gerber, imagine that. Donnie does his natural ability step dummy, and then boom, little short ball to Jock. We move on to the wings. Brian Habana.
This time Pina on the back foot gives the pass off to Habana. Away goes the speedster. Still going. And what a try.
He really is the epitome of the South African team. A real hard worker.
And now it's very important. Habana. Out wide here. This is Etienne Botha. Lovely run by Brian Habana. That is what makes him a class player.
There's only one number 11 for the Boks, right? I mean, Brian Habana, 124 caps, 68 tries. Represented Transvaal first before going to the Bulls. He was born in Johannesburg. Went to King Edward VII School. Won World Cup in 07. And he also got World Player of the Year in 2007 as well. 5'11". He's obviously not 114 kilos. So disregard that. I believe he played at about 90 kilos or 92 kilos. He had a 63% win rate, which is quite well as well. Just a try-scoring machine. Then you got Cheslin Colby. .40 caps, 18 tries, 111 points. He's got some conversions, some penalties. I mean, he's thrown lineouts, he's fed the scrum. He can do it all. Charge down kicks. Represented West Transvaal. He was born in Kraaifontein in the West Cape. Went to Worskell, Brackenfell. 2 World Cups, which he was instrumental. I mean, the picture there is from the World Cup final in 2019 where he scored the match-sealing try. He's only 5'7", 77 kilos. But look at that. When he plays, there's a 73% win rate, which is the second highest in the whole entire squad. I'm not going to tell you who's the highest. And Jock Fourie is not far behind of 71 as well. And then he also got Frans Malherbe on 71 as well. We move to fullback, Andre Hubert. Then
Dupree, Daniels, a long one out to Russell Roux. And this is Kabize. Russell Roux doubling around nicely. This is Andre Hubert. Andre Hubert could get in. Andre Hubert dives in.
Camera chaps. And waiting for it is Robert Dupree out to Naas Botha. And skip pass. Long one out to Oosthuizen. And this could hit intercept by Hubert. And Naas is chasing in. It's Andre Hubert against Naas Botha. And JJ van der Walt as well. And Andre Hubert's going to make it. And a lovely try by Andre Hubert.
This is just before my time, because I was born in 93. But from what I hear, absolute beast. 34 caps, 10 tries, 115 points. Represented the Vrystaat first, the Cheetahs. was born in Ladysmith in KwaZulu-Natal, went to Ladysmith High School, won World Cup in 1995, and he broke his hand in the quarterfinal. He actually had to have surgery, and he played the rest of the tournament. So he played in the World Cup final, full game, with a broken hand. And that is, that in itself deserves to be in a team like this. 6'2", 92 kilos, and a 67% win rate. Just a legend of the box. Now we move to 16, onto the bench. Yet again, you can interchange any of these players into starting and it wouldn't matter. Malcolm Marx, 77 caps, 21 tries, try-scoring machine. Represented Transvaal Lions. He was born in Germiston in Gauteng. King Edward VII school as well, same one as Brian Abana. 2 World Cups. He's 6'2", 116 kilos, and a 62% win rate. Just an absolute ball hawk as well. We all know what Malcolm Marx can do. Tenda Matawarira, 119 caps. 119 caps, that's crazy. 2 tries. First represented Natal, KwaZulu-Natal, the Sharks. Was born in Harare in Zimbabwe. He went to high school in Peterhouse Boys. He had 1 World Cup in 2019. 6'2" and 120 kilos and 63% win rate. Absolute beast, right? That's why he was called the Beast. Just the scrummaging he did for so long. From 2009 all the way through to when he retired in 2019, he was one of the best number ones all the way through. So consistent. Then you got 18. So this could have been Bali Swart as well, the 1995 World Cup prop. And he's also the player who actually in a Currie Cup game gave the ref a red card.
All right. They play the ball. We play rugby. They don't, and they face the music like you do. All right. All right.
Bali Swart has been sent off the field for arguing with Andre Watson. So now what is going to happen? Bali Swart has been sent off, I think.
They don't, and they face the music like you do. All right. All right.
So he actually showed the ref a red card. I wish I could have put him in here, but I think Yanni, for how long he played, right? So 70 caps. Province, first played for Free State Cheetahs from Bethlehem in the Free State. Great college he represented. Bethlehem is also where my mum's side of the family is from. 1 World Cup in 07, 6'2", 121 kilos, and a 67% win rate. Yanni, just the absolute beast. And also, Bismarck Duplessis could easily go into the 16 or 2 spot as well, just depending on how you want to go. Then you got number 19, Bakkies Botha. Mark Andrews can fit in here as well. He was a great player back in the 90s. 87 caps, 8 tries. First represented Eastern Gauteng Falca, the Falcons. Born in Newcastle, KwaZulu-Natal. Went to HTS Middelburg and Vereniging. 1 World Cup, 6'7", 124 kilos. and the highest win rate out of everyone, a 75% win rate, which is, I mean, you're winning 3 out of 4 games. That's crazy. Only the All Blacks kind of hit those sorts of stats. So that's just crazy. So whatever you think about him, he's a winner, right? I mean, at the Bulls, he won championships. At Toulon, he won 3, I think, European championship trophies in a row. So say whatever you want about Bakkies Botha, say that, but the amount of time he actually was suspended is no more than a normal kind of enforcing player. So it's not like he was always suspended. He just gives up quite a few penalties, I guess, but the proof's in the pudding. 3 out of 4 games, he would win. Then you got Dwayne Vermeulen, who could easily start at number 8 as well. 76 caps, 3 tries, just a freaking legend of the game. Such a nice guy. Started, you know, obviously in his younger years, he was very fiery, attackative, and the older he's gotten, he just became such a good player. Like his over the ball hawk, the jackling, it was just insane. He just became so good.
Now Snyman out the back for Vermeulen. Lines up for Nipola and steps in. Dwayne Vermeulen! Well, in that mini battle of the number 8s, there was only one victor.
Springboks desperate for a crack at the ball. Vermeulen's over the top. He wins the penalty!
Now running onto it is Slipper. Oh, he is hammered. High shot. Oh.
Born in Port Elizabeth, first represented the Pumas from Mpumalanga, went to Worskell and Nelspruit, 2 World Cups, 2019, 2023, and he was obviously so instrumental, right? The starting number 8 in all those games, and he fought his way back into the squad, obviously getting older, and he just kind of held on to that position. 6'4", 112 kilos while playing in a 70% win rate. So imagine having Bakkies and Dwayne Vermeulen starting. I mean, you're not going to lose a lot of games, right? We move on to the backup, number 9, Fourie du Preez.
6 minutes and South Africa get the shove on. The penalty might come here. It's just being held at the back there. Wales have to be stout. Vermeulen picks up and goes. Slips it away to Fourie du Preez. And du Preez for the try. And South Africa's captain may have put them into the quarterfinals, semi-finals of the World Cup. Fourie du Preez. A classic scrum half try. It was 8-9 to the try line.
Denton takes it and
lost the ball. Now it's been snapped up by Steyn. Here's the 3. The little halfback's going to get another one.
If you started him, I guess not many people would probably complain. How good he was for the Boks, how good he was for, you know, the Bulls, just his kicking ability. He can kick to the sideline. He can do the box kicks. He can run. I mean, he scored long-range tries. I think he's very much like a modern version, I guess, of US van der Westhuizen, right? 77 caps, 16 tries, represented Noord-Transvaal, so the Bulls. Was born in Pretoria, went to Afrikaanse Hoërseun School, won World Cup in 07, 5'11", 91 kilos, and a 71% win rate. Just an absolute winner. And then you got Handré Pollard. As the backup number 10, you know, whatever game you're in, if you need someone to come on to finish off the game, this is who you put on, right? The guy with ice in his veins, didn't miss a kick in the 2023 World Cup, absolute beast. 80 caps, 7 tries, 772 points, just under 10 a game. First represented Noord-Transvaal, the Bulls. Somerset West in the Western Cape, where he was born, represented Paarl Gymnasium. 2 World Cups, 2019, 2023. 6'2", 98 kilos, so big number 10 and a 63% win rate. We move on to the last one of the 23, John de Villiers.
And the Springboks now getting a good drive forward. du Preez, Montgomery up from fullback with the kick, and the chase is a good one. It's a beauty. Whoa. What about that? What a try.
Sorry, try.
De Villiers.
Snapped up by Holler. And Holler bounces out of a couple of tackles early on. And the All Blacks, well, the ball is out. And it breaks down for the All Blacks. A chance immediately for the Springboks as it's back on the inside to De Villiers. And I think he's there.
This is not obviously at the old age, but younger age, you could cover wing, you can cover centres. You got players who can cover fullback as well. I mean, you got Chesson Colby can cover fullback. So, you know, you'd be covered in that area. Donny Garber can even do it as well if you need. But John de Villiers, 110 caps, 27 tries. Western Province was the first province. Was born in Paarl and went to Paarl Gymnasium. 6'3", 103 kilos, a 65% win rate. Just, I guess, legend of the game, right? Just how smart he was in the game, the reading of the game, just his leadership, just all those sorts of things is what set him apart. And then we move on to the coach. I mean, is it going to be Rassie? Is it going to be someone else? I did go with someone else. Rassie, you know, he could easily be in here. I think if Rassie keeps going how he's going, he would definitely be the coach, right? The best coach in history. I picked Kitch Christie, okay? So he coached the Boks from 1994 to 1996. He coached for 14 matches. He won all 14. He won the World Cup in 1995, the first ever one. The first World Cup that South Africa was a part of. He won it. And unfortunately, because of health reasons, he kind of had to take a step back. Went back to go coach Noord-Transvaal, which was his dream. And a very sad thing, his health took a bad turn. He was literally on pretty much the hospital bed, in very bad shape. And he got fired by the Bulls, by Noord-Transvaal, in the 1998 Super Rugby season, which I think is just horrible. Just absolutely horrible. Imagine you're fighting for your life and you get fired. It's absolutely crazy. But we move on to the honourable mentions. You got Donny Craven, scrum half, fly half, centre. He can play any of those positions. Siya Kolisi definitely deserves it. Just for what he's achieved. He's captained this team to 2 World Cups. And, one of the best years in Bok history this last year, just in 2024. I mean, we only lost 2 games, which is just crazy. Andre Venter, absolute beast of a man. Morne du Plessis, many years ago, number 8. And I think he was also playing with his father as well. And he's also in the Hall of Fame as Morne. And you got Chester Williams as well, who can fill in on the wing. In that 1995 Boks squad, I think he scored 4 tries against Samoa in the quarterfinal. Just a quick, deadly man who can really, finish off a try. But that's it there for me. With the team, going through it again. And there's so many other players you can put in as well. But for me, this team is the ultimate team, right? You got a few players that have won World Player of the Year. You got the front row, which you could monster anyone. A whole scrum, I guess. A great line out with Etzebeth and Matfield. The, back row, they just bruises. With Skalkberger, Peter Steff, just big boys. Look at that, 6'4", 114, 6'6", 115. Then you got the pace of Henny Miller. He used to be fast, agile number 8. And tough as nails and fit as anything. I mean, that's why we call it the Henny Millers. I don't know if you've ever done a Henny Miller, but that's where you kind of run across. So you start on one corner of the field, you run across to the other corner of the field, back along the sideline down to the try line, then back across to the other corner flag, then back across again. So you're running like 100 and something, 100 and something, 100, just a lot of running. And he's the one who invented that. So Joos van der Westhuizen and Naaspoorter just controlling the game. Joos can snipe. Naaspoorter with his kicking ability, tactical kicking, drop kicks. Donny Garber can break the game open. Jock Fourie running lines off him. Jock Fourie just a solid center, defensive as well. Then you got Habana, Chesson Colby, and Jobert just to kind of bring the cool head at the back. Set up the boys, do kicking. Cheslin and Brian Habana chase it. Yeah. I think legendary team, in my opinion. Let me know who you would change, though. Who would you bring in? Who do you think deserves to be there? Let me know below in the comments. Like the video if you did like it. Let me know as well if you think it's a good team. Whatever would happen. Let me know below. Next week, we can do the All Blacks. The week after, we can do the Wallabies. The week after, we can do the Pumas. While these Six Nations are going. And then once those Six Nations teams are released, we'll be doing previews on every single game and predictions as well. But thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy the content. Thank you for watching.